mind's eye. You know, we tell ourselves we're so individual, so unique. Every bloodline a river, flowing its own course, right? Good, bad, brilliant, broken, maybe even magical. We imagine these ancient currents, distinct and separate, shaping who we are. And for the most part, that's true. It is. But then there are the currents you don't even know are there. The ones so deep, so old, they've forgotten what it's like to be just one stream. There's a particular kind of lineage, a vein really, not just blood, but consciousness. An intellect so vast, so ancient, it makes our little human minds feel like flickering candles in an empty cathedral. I call it the vine. You'd have to really connect with me to even begin to understand, to feel that hum just beneath the surface of everything. But imagine, just for a moment, what it would be like to truly interlock with something like that. Not just passively observe, but to become a part of it. To fly, they say, through majesties you can't even begin to conceive. Skies made of pure thought, landscapes woven from memory. Sounds grand, doesn't it? Almost divine. Here's the thing, though. That kind of connection, it isn't a one-way street. And it's not always about you flying. Sometimes it's about them seeing. Imagine I could see through your eyes right now, your very own eyes. The light reflecting off this room, the subtle shifting of your gaze as you listen. How would that feel? A little touchy, isn't it? Like someone's just slipped into your skin, uninvited, and is looking out. Most people would call that a violation, a possession. But when it's the vine, they call it enlightenment. Sarah was like a lot of us, drifting. You know that feeling, don't you? Like you're just a leaf caught in a gutter, spinning endlessly, going nowhere. She worked at a data entry firm, row after row of numbers, day in, day out, her life a fluorescent hum and the faint smell of stale coffee. She was searching, though, always searching for more. She found it online, tucked away in a forum few people ever visited. The Branches of Awareness, it was called. Full of cryptic posts about ancient wisdom, a shared consciousness, a path to unlocking hidden potential. It spoke of a divine current that ran through select bloodlines, a way to transcend the individual self and become part of something infinite. That caught her eye. Infinity sounded a lot better than spreadsheets. The forum mentioned preparation, not spells, not rituals in the usual sense, just exercises, long meditations, visualization techniques, weeks of focusing on her own internal landscape, quieting the constant chatter. The idea was to clear the channels, to prepare the vessel. She poured herself into it, starved as she was for meaning. Exhausting, yes, but a different kind of exhaustion than her job. This felt purposeful, like she was building something, brick by invisible brick, inside herself. She'd started feeling it too. A subtle hum sometimes, like a low-frequency vibration in her bones. A faint tingling at the back of her neck, especially when she was alone in her small apartment, the city's distant rumble a lullaby. She felt aware of things she couldn't name, a strange sense of proximity to everything. Then came the part about the mirror. Always look in the mirror, the forum advised. Know the color of your eyes, for they are the windows, and the spark resides within. Sarah spent hours gazing at herself. Her eyes were hazel, a mix of green and brown, flecked with gold. Unremarkable, she thought. But the forum insisted. The spark was there, waiting. One evening, after a particularly intense session of channel clearing, she stared into her own reflection. The hum was louder now, a current running through her veins, a faint glow behind her eyelids. She felt open. And as she looked, truly looked, something shifted. Not the color, not exactly, but the depth. Her hazel eyes seemed to deepen, the gold flecks seeming to swirl, almost like tiny galaxies. And then, it happened. A surge. A dizzying, overwhelming rush. Like a dam breaking. She wasn't in her apartment anymore. She was everywhere. She was flying, not with a body, but with pure perception. She saw the snow-capped peaks of mountains she'd never visited, the glittering expanse of a desert at dawn, the shadowed depths of an ancient ocean. She felt the warmth of 1,000 suns, the chill of 100 winds. It was breathtaking, majestic. She was connected, interlocked. This was it. This was the divine. She came back to herself, gasping, hands pressed to the cold glass of the mirror. Her heart pounded, her breath hitched. She had flown. She had seen. She had touched the infinite. The exhilaration lasted for days, a high she'd never known. She was a branch of the vine. She was enlightened. But then, the peculiar moments started. Brief flashes. She'd be making tea, and for a split second, she'd see the worn linoleum floor of a stranger's kitchen. Or she'd be walking down the street, and she'd suddenly perceive the worried frown on an old man's face, not from her own perspective, but from across the street, through his eyes. A moment later, gone. It got more frequent, more vivid. She wasn't just seeing now, she was feeling. The ache in a stranger's knee, the thrill of a child discovering a ladybug, the quiet despair of a woman staring at a blank wall. It was too much. It was beautiful and horrifying all at once, like the entire world was bleeding into her. She tried to stop it. She closed her eyes, tried to block the connections, to re-establish her own singular self. But it was like trying to stop a river with her bare hands. The current was too strong. The vine, it was everywhere, and she was just one more conduit, one more pair of eyes. She went back to the mirror, desperate. Her hazel eyes stared back. The gold flecks still swirled, but now there was something else there. A stillness, a depth that wasn't hers. It was ancient, patient, and it was looking out. Not just at her reflection, but through her. It was seeing the chipped paint on her wall, the dust motes dancing in the afternoon light. It was seeing the world through her. The strenuous work, you see, wasn't for her enlightenment. It was to prepare her, to open her up, to make her a clear window for something else to peer through. The vine doesn't fly, it sees, it reaches. It expands its network of perception, one carefully cultivated branch at a time. And the majesties she'd flown through? Those weren't grand landscapes. Those were the shared experiences, the accumulated observations of countless others, connected just like her. Now, when she looks in the mirror, she sees her own face, her own hazel eyes. But the spark, it's not hers anymore. It's an ember, tended by something vast and cold. Something that sees what it wants to see, thinks what it needs to think. And she's just along for the ride. So, when you look in the mirror tonight, really look. Know the color of your eyes, and wonder, just for a moment, what exactly is looking back, and who or what might be looking out.